Hello, listeners and viewers. This is teacher Agbanyaga again. In this presentation, I will continue the teaching on TRÅWO, on nature spirits of the earth, particularly among the Aŋlo Eʋes of Ghana, West Africa. This is part 2 of 4 on the entire teaching on TRÅWO. In this second part, I will be teaching specifically on the classification of TRÅWO. And to understand this part of the teaching, it is essential that you watch part 1 where I discussed the sources of TRÅWO. The link to part 1 is in the description box below. Once part 3 and 4 become available, they will be uploaded. In the Aŋlo land, there are plenty of TRÅWO or nature spirits, but no individual is expected to acknowledge and revere more than a few. Each member of the community ordinarily reveres or attends to those that affect his or her day-to-day social life or spiritual life, including those associated to his or her lineage, clan, village, and tribe. TRÅWO are mainly classified into two large groups. The first being the public TRÅWO or nature spirits, and the second is personal or private TRÅWO according to the level on which they affect the individual. However, the two has an intermediate called the occupational TRÅWO. I will explain each of these in the next parts. Now let us look at what is public TRÅWO. These are some of the oldest divinities of the community, not a few of which trace origin to Moche or Hogbe, the ancestral home. These constitute the Hogbe TRÅWO from the original home. In view of their great antiquity and association with some of the oldest ancestors, they carry great prestige in the eyes of all. Very few foreign or Amajro TRÅWO or Jokble Anyi or native TRÅWO have gained as much prominence as the Hogbe TRÅWO. In part 1, I have discussed these sources into detail. The public TRÅWO are divided into regional political and kin TRÅWO. The regional political public TRÅWO are acknowledged collectively by the members of a TO or division and DU, that is a village or town, or by the whole tribe or state. Now let us look at the TO TRÅWO or divisional TRÅWO. For instance, let us look at a list of TOWO or divisions and the corresponding TRÅWO using the beautiful town of Joja as the example. Joja has 9 divisions and each has its own divisional TRÅ. For instance, Upper Tepe has its TRÅ as Joli, Adagbladu as Blikba, Ablome has TRÅ De, Fiagbedu has TRÅ Damadi, Achana and Amasikbe, and Afayeme has its TRÅ as Gbe. The remaining 4 divisions are Afiadenigba, Bodo Ave, Dafonyame, and Kuli. Each has its own TRÅ. Anyone interested can find the remaining 4. In the case of Dutron, or the state or town or village TRÅWO, as I have previously mentioned, these are collectively acknowledged by members of an independent political unit and by members of a town or state or village. Some examples of these are as follows. The Dutron for the Aŋlos is Nyigbla. This deity was brought to the Aŋlo land in the latter part of the 17th century. It is a war deity, and it has a rich military and human history behind it. It came from Bubla, modern-day Pampram and Ningo. In other words, Bubla was the original home of Nyigbla. However, there are reasons why this deity was brought to Aŋlo land and why it has been highly embraced by the Aŋlos up to date, and to the extent that it is the leading Dutron for the Aŋlos up to present times. Up to date, among the Aŋlo Eʋes, the official chief priest of the Nyigbla deity has his roots from Pampram. In the future, I will endeavor to make a full presentation on this deity, a deity that sparks total courage, selfless commitment, discipline, loyalty, and resilience of the Aŋlos in battle. Now let's move on to Agbozuma. Agbozuma has its throne as Mama Anna, the mother of all witches and protector. Panyi has its throne as Aka and Gaja. Both deities were brought from the ancient home in Ngoche. They are purposely for farming. In other words, they are occupational throne or deity, which I will discuss in another part. Finally, Klikor has its throne as Kli. The great ancestor Togbi Kli was the owner of the three important deities of the Aŋlo Eʋes, one of which bears his name. The deities are Kli, Botonya, and Afu. These deities were consulted in the past during the time of adversaries, but for the purpose of this presentation, I will briefly talk about the Kli deity. Kli has a high reputation for its ability to determine the suitability of a site for settlement. It was also used as a pathfinder and performed the function of a modern-day compass navigation, where one has to work out the grid references and calculate the magnetic angle, and to be able to match even onto a true north. Togbi Kli used the Kli deity to navigate the Aŋlo Eʋes during their migration from Ngoche to the Aŋlo land. The Kli deity was passed down, and finally it got to the great ancestor Togbi Ajoka, the grandson of the greatest Togbi Vanya, who took the Kli deity to discover present town of Klikor. The Kli deity had ever remained with the people of Klikor. Kor simply means site or location. Klikor is the final home for the Kli deity, an entire town named after Togbi Kli and his ancient compass. I hope to make a presentation on Togbi Kli and his ancient compass Kli deity in the future. This brings us to the end of part 2. In part 3, I will continue with the teaching on the classification of TRÅWO by looking at the kin public TRÅWO, that is family and clan TRÅWO or nature spirits. Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe, and I hope you have learned something new. Thank you.